We're recording at 2:30 in the morning. We could just make up shit.
Yeah, that's right.
Nobody
it's the
know.
wee small hours of time to lean.
Actually, it's almost 4 o'clock on a Saturday, and we'll have to. It'll have to be a quick one. Everybody's got big plans for the evening. Going out there and putting out fires and dodging bullets.
Smoke jumping.
Who you humping?
Tub thumping. Save, there's the song.
Yeah, it writes itself.
It's the way we speed up productivity.
We're already done with that, so that's good.
So, this one will go out really fast.
We're
It'll be done. It'll be done before episode 93.
We're trying to 94.
We interrupt this program to bring you the Time to Lean economic news. I'm Guy Scary Doll, and if you want to save money, put a watch in a piggy bank. Now back to Time to Lean, and here's a song, episode 95.
This is 95 now.
This is 95. 95, and we're still alive.
Still alive.
Staying alive. I know.
It's like an anti-Bee Gee song.
Or Barely Alive, the Mad Magazine version. With all the old Jewish man stuff in. Oy vey, oy vey. That's bad.
We could do.
It wasn't one of the highlights of Mad Disco.
With the anti-Bee Gees.
The disco clap was the standout track there.
Barely alive. That is pretty funny.
Yeah, it's a bit obvious, but sure.
Well,
it's on brand.
Like, I'm not afraid of the easy ones, I've always said. Easy jokes, not the ladies. Let's see.
I wasn't going to go there, but...
So, we got a few things to talk about today.
We have a few things have backed up, kind of like,
like
podcast constipation.
Sure, and this is our enema. No, we'll stop with the analogies there.
Okay, I'm not near a colonoscopy time yet, but
regarding
somebody out there might be
regarding
knowing our audience.
Yes, well, we're all getting to that age probably.
Anyway,
there might be some kids listening. Speaking of stomachs, I did have a kombucha just a little bit ago there in honor of our friend of the show, Eric S.
Yay, Eric S.
I've been experimenting with kombucha a little bit, trying to help my gut biome after watching. I've been curious about the gut biome for a while, but after watching a Netflix documentary, I thought, I should
you can only eat so much yogurt.
Yeah. Well,
yogurt in a pail.
I may have talked about this on a previous episode, but they're like, one of the recommendations to help with your gut biome is to have like 30 different fruits and vegetables every week.
30.
Let's see. I'll have one green. I'll have one green bean. I'll have.
I do know at least one person who does these really high quantity fruit veggie smoothie things he makes up.
Sure.
So that's kind of a thing. I guess that's one way to.
Oh, you'd have to have it in a smoothie, wouldn't you? There's no way.
Yeah,
you can't.
They never look appetizing, but
no,
you learn to like them.
They look like a Muppet threw up or something, but.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, it's close to home because my dog has been throwing up for the last 6 hours.
Oh no! What's wrong?
Ate
a squirrel.
This was
a bad squirrel.
Yeah,
a bad squirrel.
Or the one time she ate a wasp. We called it a spicy fly because it stung the inside of her mouth. She was very sad for about a day. No, this was almost self-inflicted. We went out for dinner last night and came back with a shank roast bone.
Oh.
And it was really big. I thought, this is the type she should be okay chewing on and all that stuff. And it still had like a lot of, stuff on it, like
gristle.
Some fat and some meat that wasn't. Yeah, it was still kind of. She just loved it, of course, but
yeah,
it was way too much. And then I think she actually ate big pieces of it.
Oh,
like she actually, destroyed the bone. It's like usually, the dog just chews on the bone, carries it around, and no, she actually destroyed it with her teeth. So,
oh my God,
she's very, very methodical, and this bone, did not stay intact, and so this morning she's been expelling that.
Oh, hopefully she didn't swallow some bones. Is that what it is? You think?
Well, there were some bones that came back up, some pieces.
Maybe
So
that's.
I think it'll all pass. She seems fine, but yeah, it's been pretty gross.
She comes from wolves. I mean, they do that. So.
Oh no, and
she'll be fine.
Of course, she's still super hungry. It's not like when you and I get a bad stomach or something, you don't want to eat. But like she went out. One of our neighbors sometimes gives her treats over the fence, and she went right up and took one. It was like, oh yeah, whoo.
Yeah,
she had thrown up like an hour ago.
Cats are like that too. They'll, I guess I'll eat again. It's like, well, my stomach's empty now. It's like, no, that's not. Go lay down.
It's like feline eating disorders almost.
Oh no!
Yikes! So yes. We've gone from irregularity to this is really not going well at all.
Wow! This is a bodily function episode.
Okay, let's break it.
Tangent alert.
What are you drinking?
Well, I'm drinking once again Wild Turkey 101.
Easy 101.
Easy 101, 103 FM. Keeping you company in the hills, the wee hours of the morning.
It was a little lower proof, I think, than Wild Turkey 101.
Oh, no, that was an easy listening station. I've talked about that before.
Yes. Yeah, are you having that on ice or in a cocktail or?
No, just on the rocks.
Yeah.
I did recently, the last bottle I had was Ezra Brooks. I just tried that on, this is Sour Mash, 99 proof, but I know you prefer to go by the percentage with 49.5.
That's an unusual.
Yeah.
Usual ABV number.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust it. It was okay. I enjoyed it fine. It was, I don't know. It sort of reminded me of mellow corn, except, so maybe it had corn in it or something. Is that what sour mash means?
Usually that's a corn whiskey. Yeah. But, I mean, that's what bourbon is usually.
Okay. Well, it was more corny than others I've had, I guess I'll say.
Was it actually called bourbon or just whiskey?
That's a good question. I don't know. I'd have to Google that. I thought it said whiskey. Sour mash. Oh God.
Yeah, it's one of those American whiskeys where they're kind of playing with the mash bill. So it may not have the right percentage of corn or something else to actually be called bourbon.
No,
yeah.
Maybe it's too corny. Just like this episode.
Yeah, it might have more corn or it might have less. It might have something else in it.
Well, if you're going to say sour mash,
I mean, usually that's what that means. That's usually a bourbon-style corn whiskey. I mean, like Jack Daniel's is a sour mash. It's just not... It's sour... I mean, Jack is actually... It's basically bourbon. They don't want to call it that.
Huh.
It has about the same process. The only thing they do differently is they run it through this charcoal filtration thing.
Oh.
I mean, supposedly to smoothen it out, although the regular Jack, I don't know. I wouldn't want to know what it's like before they filter it.
I was going to say, my God.
That stuff's pretty. I mean, that's why it's so good in a Coke.
Yeah, I would have to have it. I associate it with Coke.
Yeah.
Oh, my Uncle Jeff, that's what he drinks. That's his daily.
Or I always think of the 90s Al Pacino movie, Scent of a Woman. Remember that one?
I don't know if I ever saw that, but I've seen bits of it. But was that his drink?
Yeah, he drank that throughout the movie. Eccentric Al Pacino performance, and the line I remember is like, he says, "I'm going to have some more John Daniels," and the younger character, I forget who it was in the movie.
Yeah,
it's been ages. Said, "Oh, isn't that Jack Daniels?" And he said, "Well, when you've been acquainted with him as long as I have, he's John." That it's paraphrasing, but
sure.
That's the one thing I remember from that. And I think he plays a blind man or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah.
And that's why he likes to smell women, I guess. Is that the deal?
Yeah, so he has a scene where he talks about the scent. It's like, anyway.
Oh boy.
I don't know if it ages super well. Unlike, or a lot like Jack Daniels, actually. I mean, no, I am being unfair. There are Jack Daniels I've had on this podcast, I think, even that are quite good.
I've been wanting to try some of their other ones, but yeah, I mean, any of these whiskeys,
it's like Jim Beam. There's good Jim Beam,
but the regular is oof.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. It's
I like
the
Knob
mass
Creek,
market. Yeah, they're anyway.
How about you?
I am drinking. It will not be a surprise to you, but I'm another American whiskey. This one made in Minneapolis here. Mm-hmm. It's called Brother Justice.
Oh, yeah. We just visited
Justus.
Hello, this is me. You know me at Uncle Hat. Tony P, friend of the show, sending an article over here to me in the studio, and it's about Brother Justice. It's a moonshining monk. I think it came out of the Star Tribune or something like that, if you're into reading papers. And and she sent me a clipping from the paper. Yeah, well, okay, I made that point abundantly clear. Anyway, he was a monk, and he was famous for helping the local farmers. He taught them how to make moonshine there without chemicals that could leach into the liquid and make it unsafe. And that was a problem that evidently plagued many moonshiners across the country. His real name, he grew up as William Treadle, but his chosen name was Brother Justice, it seems, and it was kind of on a Stearns County farm, Stearns County. So there you go. And that's where they got the name Brother Justice Whiskey for this place that John and Phil went to. I hope you enjoyed this little segment, and thanks again to Tony P for the news clipping mailed to me via a snail.
Yep, he was a monk.
But they opened a distillery here. I don't know, it's been open a little while, but their specialty is actually American single malt, so malted barley whiskey,
which is not smoke peated.
Well, they make one kind that's kind of unusual it's called cold peat. Cold peated
process, I think. Yeah.
And that and if you know this already, I'll try and be brief, but traditional peated Scotch whiskey gets its flavor from the fact that they use peat fire to dry the malted barley before they distill it, and that smoke from the burning peat gets into the grain itself, and that's where it gets into the whiskey.
And it's nice.
Yeah, it's a very distinct. It's kind of a calling card of a lot of scotches. And
maybe not the best carbon footprint thing, but
yeah, that's another issue. But this one is using peat
in a patented process.
It is supposedly, yeah. It's unusual, and what they do, instead of it going into the grain and being used, there's no smoke, and what they do is that they use it to infuse the whiskey itself after it's been distilled.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's during the process, but it's definitely not in the grain itself.
They pour it through the peat. To filter it, maybe.
It's a little bit like the Jack Daniels charcoal thing.
Yeah.
Where they're using it to kind of, it probably slightly changes the chemical structure of the whiskey and gives it some flavor, and it's much more of a vegetal, maybe even grassy thing. It's very subtle. We tasted it recently, and
the grassy knolls.
Yes, I'm John Grassy Knolls,
the man in the umbrella. No,
anyway, so that's kind of their thing. We were at their distillery. Yeah,
we were talking and somewhat oddly talking about, you had mentioned the movie Bob Roberts, and then later on we found out that Donald Trump, somebody tried to kill the guy. I don't know why, but that's not neither here nor there.
I think that's pretty funny. That I was.
That's not funny, but the thing we were talking about, Bob Roberts,
because of course we're in political hell season. that I was thinking about politics movies, and I remember that one. It's from 91 or 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Tim Roberts directed and wrote or co-wrote or something like that.
And starred in it.
And of course plays the titular character, Bob Roberts.
Republican, sort of folksy.
Yes, he's a Republican folk singer kind of running for Senate, and it's a fake documentary style thing.
Yeah. I remember it being a good movie. I didn't think it would be necessarily prophetic, but...
Yeah, and go look it up. And I was thinking, I should see that again. It's been many years since I saw it, and then I looked at the cast listing. It's got a bunch of people in it that are really well known, including who was totally unknown at the time, Giancarlo Esposito, who's now known, of course, for being in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
Okay, yeah.
Who plays Gus Fring, the very, very entertaining drug cartel guy. and the owner of Los Pollos Hermanos.
Yeah, well, and he was in Mandalorian.
Yes, and he's been in a bunch of stuff, but he's actually in this character. Must have been pretty young, and apparently it was Jack Black's first film, I think, too. Or close to it.
I don't remember any of those people, but maybe I didn't know who they were then.
No, I don't think any of us did. But anyway, we were talking about that movie, and within just a couple of hours, I think.
Yeah. Then we heard
the attempted assassination happened, and that it ties it. The movie is very conspiratorial about that, and so it was kind of a weird coincidence.
Well, but we didn't. Fortunately, this time we didn't kill anybody by talking about it, and
unlike Henry Kissinger.
Yes, we accidentally, when King was on, we were talking about, gosh, is that guy still alive? And then
and then he died.
He died like
while we were recording the show. Yes.
No, that was odd. But we were at Brother Justice talking, mostly we were talking and enjoying whiskey.
Yes.
And the staff there has been very helpful and friendly, and pretty knowledgeable too. I mean, they I think we both did a flight and then a cocktail. We did their basic flight. Got to try their what do they call that? The White Lightning type, but this wasn't
the unaged
unaged
new make spirit. It's usually, I think, called.
Which normally I'm like, I don't need to try that, or maybe it's if you want to see how it progresses as it ages, I think you could taste the different steps. My friend Mark from Apollo Club Men's Chorus has some Buffalo Trace before it's aged. I think I'll try that someday. But but this was different. It seemed to be smoother than I was expecting. I thought it would be really a burn fest, but it was.
It was proof down to low 40% range. It wasn't right off the still or anything like that. But yeah, it was surprisingly non-edgy and had a lot of flavor. It was really cool to taste that, and then you were able to taste the aged version that after it had gone in the barrels, and see how that impacted it, and then the peated version.
Yeah,
which was different yet.
Very earthy. I like that.
Yeah, it definitely had that.
It wasn't smoky. It was just earthy.
Nope, not at all.
In fact, maybe you get a little bit more smoke from their. They have some, special. The next tier up. We tried one of those too. I think
they had it was like a one session off the still or something like that. But it had not been blended or anything like that with other. Runs on the still. So it wasn't a single barrel, but it was that style.
I think there was.
That was very, very good too.
Oh yeah. I think there was a flavor that kind of tied through. You could taste through all maybe not on that last one, but on the special one. But when we did the first flight, there was a kind of, I don't know, fruity flavor that seemed to tie through all of them. It just got a little bit less pronounced or something.
Yeah, so if you can imagine a non-smoky, non-peated Scotch whiskey. It has that same. Again, it's also malted barley. It's not going to be that different. This one, it's funny. It has a very. It tastes young in that the flavor hits right away.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that lots of flavor notes that after you have it on your palate for a while, that kind of thing, that an older whiskey has. But it's got that plus some almost bourbon-like notes that come off of the barrel or the oak, because it's not unlike the other key difference, and this is true for a lot of American single malts, is that they age this in new oak barrels, well, like a bourbon or a rye whiskey, and most Scotch is aged in used, previously filled with something else barrels.
Toxic waste.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, things like wine or something.
Yeah, it can. I mean, bourbon barrels are the most common, but sometimes it's sherry barrels.
Sherry, that's what I meant.
Sometimes they do other things, but it's predominantly spends most of its time in a used bourbon barrel, because bourbon does not reuse barrels. They pass them on to somebody else once they've finished aging the bourbon, because that's the way they make bourbon.
And people use those barrels for beer and all kinds of weird things.
Lots of stuff. So there's the steady supply that kind of
and Scotch,
right? Downcycled, so to speak. And a lot of it goes to the Scotch industry. And part of it, again, is it takes a lot longer on a used barrel to get that flavor out of it, because once it's been 3 or 4 years of bourbon sitting in it, it's cleaned out, and a lot of that initial spike of interaction that happens with the wood to the whiskey is already happening, and then it's much more gradual, which is why Scotch usually, in the climate, of course, is why Scotch takes longer to mature.
Very cool.
So, anyway, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it's good. So the one I'm drinking now is actually a store exclusive I picked up a while ago. That is it's a single barrel. It's at cask strength. So it's about 61%. It's quite high.
Okay.
Wow. Higher than any of the ones they had for sampling or tasting at the distillery. But it's it has a lot of the same character as the standard single malt one that we tried. It has a really heavy fruit note, like bananas, and I think I mentioned circus peanuts.
Yeah,
we both got off that one.
I was trying to figure out this one flavor. It hit some kind of nostalgic thing, and I just couldn't quite figure it out. And when you said circus peanuts, I was like, "That's it."
Yeah, I get that. This one has a little bit less of that, but I mean, dried banana, like banana chips, is a huge thing I get on the taste.
Okay.
But yeah, it's really tasty.
That would be interesting with that plantain amaro I got from that other whiskey place nearby here.
Yeah, you could try that. That would be wild.
I'll bring it over next. If you have any of this stuff left over, I'll bring it.
Yeah, I'm likely not going to bring this very quickly. But
maybe that would be too banana-y.
Yeah, exactly.
We could make a cocktail called the Banana Split.
No. That would be bananas. Okay, enough whiskey. That's what.
Well, now that was if people get to, I think Brother Justice is probably one of the best distilleries around, or it is one of the best distilleries in the Twin Cities, I'm sure. I've enjoyed other ones too, but
their product scene. I mean, they make some other stuff, but they're just a little different. There's a lot of kind of bourbon style distilleries around the area that, like most cities have now. And this one is just they're trying something different. I appreciate that.
Good cocktails.
They made
a penicillin.
The penicillin was outstanding.
Both John and I were very happy to see that on the menu.
Which this whiskey is just a natural for.
Exactly. Holman's Table. Usually, that's the first time I had a penicillin. That's not a distillery. It's a restaurant at the St. Paul Airport. Let's see what else. Yeah, those were good. I lost my train of thought. Boop 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 boop. Fine.
Woohoo! Okay. So we have topics.
The other thing.
No, please talk. Where else have you been drinking?
I was just going to say later on. That's what I was going to say. Later on, after this, I'm going to O'Shaughnessy. We were invited by another couple, and
that's a fun place. The home of what is it? Keeper's Heart, I think is the name of their brand. Yeah,
they do good cocktails too. So looking forward.
And they have, unlike Brother Justice, they serve food, which is helpful.
Well, Brother Justice has some sort of snack boxes of some sort.
Yeah, they have some stuff prepackaged, but they don't have a kitchen or anything like that.
No, well, I understand. I wouldn't want to deal with that.
Yeah, it's funny. I played a gig the other night at a cider distillery, cidery, I guess, whatever.
I'm sure there's a word for it.
Cidery, and they had a bar with some cocktails made out of something. It wasn't they weren't cider, but this one was like a brandy sour, barrel aged or something like that. Or
what?
I don't really know how
Did you try it?
I did. Yeah, it was very tasty.
Brandy sour.
Was
it kind of old fashioned or a little more?
No, it was very
more like a whiskey sour, but
like a whiskey sour with a lot of lemon, high citrus kind of tastes. But also pretty sweet. But it was very tasty.
That just reminds me. Mark introduced me to this neighborhood bar in on West 7th in St. Paul called Keenan's.
It's called the 620 Club now. During the time it took to get this episode out to you all, Keenan's retired, the guy that owned it, and now it's reopened in the 620 Club. And I believe that a regular there and one of the staff members are the owners now. I'm sure they'll keep up the nice vibe there. Back to the show.
And it's I've been there a couple of times. I've been kind of looking for just one of those kind of neighborhood places, and I've sort of exhausted them around here. But in West St. Paul, I went way over across the High Bridge, and no, it's just right over there.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's not very far from me. But some guy ordered a tequila tonic. Ugh.
Okay.
That sounds terrible.
I mean, tonic works with a lot of stuff. It works with scotch, too, by the way.
Well, the bartender said, did you say tequila tonic? And he said, yeah, I know. It sounds weird, but I like it. And she's like, I don't judge. I've been here a long time.
Well, you never know.
I guess I'm not going to try it. Well, maybe why not, I guess. I don't know.
I'm not going to go buy one and put it that way.
No. If somebody gave me one.
Yeah, no, I'd be curious,
too.
too.
This place has Guinness, which I appreciate. One thing I'm trying to figure out, we're all over the place here, and we have less time, so that's not a good sign. But it's usually my fault because I have ADHD. But it seems like the past couple places I've been to get and had a Guinness, it pours a lot quicker than I remember. Because usually with Guinness, the bartender pours a little bit, leaves, does 4 other drinks, comes back, put a little more in, and it can take a long time to get your Guinness. It seems to be pouring a lot quicker at different places I've been to lately, and I don't know what the deal is there. I don't know.
That's climate change. No, I don't know. No, or shrinkflation or something like that. There's less stout bits.
Maybe they're just not. Something's not right with the tap.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I mean, even like fountain Coke, you got to get things just right with the. Maybe the taps aren't quite.
No.
It still tastes good though.
You know how McDonald's has the best fountain Coke, right?
Yeah, they get the specially designed ice cubes and.
No, maybe if they had Guinness, they'd get it right.
McGuinness.
McGuinness. There you go.
I'm gonna have a McGuinness, and they have a new character. They can have Ronald McDonald could be talking to the McGuinness.
It could be that. What is that? A toucan or something on those really old.
Oh
ads,
yeah.
The my goodness, my Guinness.
Yeah, but
those famous posters, they could turn that into a cartoon character.
Unfortunately, Fruit Loops co-opted the.
Oh yeah, fucking
toucan.
Fruit Loops. Toucan Sam.
Maybe one of these breweries will make or they probably already have the Fruit Loops thing for the state fair or something. Fruit Loops Stout.
It's along the veins of.
I hate those things.
like mini donut beer and.
Well, and on the show a while back, I think Matthew P left a salted nut roll.
Oh, that's right.
We talked about
of course
that once on the show.
The Twin Bing.
Twin Bing, that's right.
Which was one of the better ones.
That worked okay with the stout, but it was sweeter than I like. Guinness can be a kind of sweet, but it's not. I don't need to add more to it. What? No. Yeah. So John purchased a new car, and it's an electric vehicle.
A new car.
A brand new car. With a case of turtle wax and rice-a-roni.
I don't think you got any rice-a-roni with it.
I didn't have to go on Showcase Showdown to get it either.
And drove, so it's an electric vehicle, and drove to Rapid City in it.
And back.
And made it back, and found places to charge, and he's got it. Yep. How many apps do you need now, or have now for this?
It's really out of control.
5?
There's at least 3. I've got let me put it this way: on my phone home screen, I've got a folder for EV charging. That's how bad it is.
Well, you get into that stuff. You're geeky and no offense, I don't mean that in a bad way.
No, that's one of the draws.
But I think of it as kind of a gamification thing. Like. Where you make aspects of your life into kind of a game or something. And I think that, I'm not saying you're turning your life into a video game. I'm just saying, you're okay. Where can I get the best rate, or maybe even a free charge? But then there's also, you got to factor in, because I've been talking to you about this when we're not recording. We don't record all the time.
All too often, yeah.
And okay. This is a slower speed, but it's free. This is, there's all these factors, and you got this new vehicle, and it, you have to charge it to continue the trip. So you got to find, I need a full charge, and I don't know, but you can talk about it more, but I just don't. I don't know how far
your brain.
How far can you get on? One charge, 300 miles or something, or
it depends.
See, then there's that variable too, huh?
No. So
how fast you drive?
Let me back up just a little bit.
Well, no, I jumped way ahead.
So I will cover those things, and if I forget, you should tell me, because I'm still drinking Brother Justice, and so I might forget. No, so I did somewhat recently. Well, I think in the last little less than a month ago, I leased, actually, first time leasing a car, a Kia EV9 is what it's called. It's a large SUV, or large.
It's very
EV.
large.
It has 3 rows in it. It's very long, and the criteria was that we wanted something that we can take out of town comfortably, that can, if I need to take my base and the dog and the 2 of us and our stuff, it would be comfortable for that. And this is more than that.
Yep.
We traveled. We did not have the base, but there was plenty of space in there, and it's nice, big. It's really a family car. It has 3 full, and the way it's a large SUV is because the 3rd row an adult could actually sit in.
Yeah.
And so it's not quite minivan spacious inside, but it's pretty darn big. It's kind of, it's bigger than the Toyota Highlander I have.
And I will just add that I did try to talk John into doing some stealth camping with it, but he won't do that, so that's okay.
Yeah, I'm not really into car camping, but anyway, it's a all electric EV, not a hybrid or anything like that. It's all battery. It's basically, and partially the reason I leased it is because it's just a much better deal financially right now to lease them because of interest rates and the promotions they're doing. So it was actually a pretty good deal for me to do this. And when the lease is up, the EVs have really they progress very quickly. Since they're so tech intensive that the idea that I can turn this thing in and get something newer at that time is even more attractive.
Or they'll give you one hell of a deal to buy it.
It's possible, yeah. And right now they depreciate like nuts, like much more than, say, other comparable cars.
Well, because I just very briefly I was looking at a electric vehicle, like a Leaf, I think it was, an older one, like 2019 or something, but it just did not have the range that I need. Because they
never had. Yeah, they were always more of a drive around the city car. Yeah, I could
get to work and back, but if I had to do anything else after that, I don't. Good luck. But
yeah, I think if you got a new enough Leaf, it would be fine for you.
Oh yeah. No,
but
I was just looking at like an older one.
The super older ones were they're maybe 100 miles or something like that.
One hell of a deal that I could have gotten. I think it was more than 100, but it wasn't. It was maybe, but again, like you said, there's variables. But okay.
Yeah, exactly. So, basically, the version I got is, it claims it will do 270 miles, maybe 280 something, depending on the version you get.
Sure.
Which is on the high side for a lot of EVs. There are some that go a little higher than that, but this one is also all-wheel drive. It's a very large, boxy vehicle.
It's huge.
Again, it's
a bug killer.
The front of it is the
destroyer
monolith of bugs.
John sent me a picture.
It is just bonkers.
Anyone that's driven across South Dakota is going to get a lot of bugs, but this
we drove through some areas that had a lot of flooding and things like that. There was just gobs of bugs. It was disgusting.
Again, climate change, but whatever.
So anyway, that's kind of the range of the thing. If you've ever looked into EVs, and I leaned a little bit on my brother Rob for some of this because he's had an EV for about a year now.
Time to lean.
Yeah, it's time
to lean on Rob.
Lean on Rob when you're not strong. When you're not charged.
I need a nap.
Yeah, we all do. So
50% off on appetizers.
Nappetizers.
Ooh, it's a nappy hour.
Oh, God.
Oh, hey, we should do a spinoff called the Nappy Hour and do a real subdued sleep sleep podcast.
Sleep Baseball presents a Nappy Hour.
Don't listen to in the UK because nappy means something different.
Yeah.
Although we're getting older, so pretty soon maybe that would be the joke. We take naps in our diapers when we're really old.
Well, we're going to be there soon enough, Phil. We don't need to do a podcast about it.
Oh, it's coming really fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
that's what she said.
The car is
yes.
Yeah. If you've looked into EVs and all that, it has the usual caveats. So generally, it's like the opposite of a gas car in its efficiency. So in a gas car, you usually get your best miles per gallon on a higher speed, like 60, 70 miles an hour, whatever.
You're cruising.
Yeah, out on the highway. That's where you do better. Stop and go traffic, low speed things. That's where you do worse. And it's the opposite on an EV.
Interesting.
Because part of the way it's because of the electric motor, the way they work, but also because if you're doing slow and stopping all the time, things like that, the motors will regenerate power back into the battery to slow down instead of using a brake.
Yeah.
And so you get more efficiency, and they just use less power at low speed because they're just electric motors. And they don't have a transmission or that kind of stuff really. And so it's just this you just kind of the power just comes on, first of all, instantly, but it also just ramps up at a steady curve. There's no gear changes and anything like that. It's different, which also makes them pretty fun to drive if you like to go fast, because you can. Most EVs will really, the power comes so quickly. It can be really a blast.
Wow.
When you're road tripping, That's always that's been the Achilles heel of EVs is figuring it. First of all, having enough range, and then also again when you're driving 600 miles, you have to stop a few times to charge.
Yeah.
And charging stations are definitely not at the level anywhere near the level of gas stations out on the highways and things like that.
No.
That's right now still one of the big drawbacks to electric vehicles, and it's a real thing. I don't want to downplay that a whole ton, and I don't honestly.
But you make
know.
it fun.
Well, you can, but I part of all the thrill of the chase and all that stuff, and experimenting with these things can be fun. But I also think it needs to be more boring for them to get more mainstream acceptance.
Most people don't want to.
They don't want to do this.
They don't want to get as in depth as you do.
No, and you don't have to all the time.
The apps help a lot. It sounds like too, though.
No, and so what? And you don't need to use these things to put electrons in your car. You can. I mean, first of all, all of these vehicles have navigation systems that have internet connections, and they'll tell you where the chargers are.
Oh, right. There's like a 3-foot long smartphone on your console or something. That's bizarre.
Most cars now have gigantic screens.
I
on
know.
the dashboard,
I have such an old car.
This one is massive, and yeah, but if you put your destination in, it'll say, "Hey, you're not going to have enough battery to get here. I suggest you stop here," and it'll put that into the route planning.
Is it kind of like so like when you do a route with Google, supposedly it says the most fuel efficient route, or that's what I'm getting at is,
yeah, I think so.
Does it figure in this is the cheapest, this is the fastest, this is the
it'll do some of that stuff where it'll favor certain stops, things like that. If you really want to,
based on advertising maybe too, but
kind of fine tune the like where. So for example, there are, and I should back up and say that when I say fast charging, I mean what's called DC fast charging, which is the very, very high speed charging stations that are frequently out on the highways.
Comparable to filling your tank up, right?
It's as close as you're going to get. They're always slower, but
yeah,
they're much, as opposed to what's usually called level 1 or level 2 AC charging, which is what you would do in your home.
Okay.
And those take many hours to.
Well, level 1 is like all day or all
yeah,
night.
well, level 1 is your standard outlet. My car has a big enough battery that if it was empty, it would take 72 hours to charge it. Plugged in the whole time in one of my standard outlets. That's how slow they are.
Ouch. So you're like going to the library until you get your level 2.
And then level 2 is a much higher, multiple times high. It uses like a 240 volt outlet, like a dryer outlet, to give you the faster AC charging, and that one will charge the battery overnight.
And your wife's ex-husband might come over and put that thing in for you.
Yeah, fortunately, I do know somebody who's an electrician who's going to help me out with that. So.
I think you have the best, I've said this before on the show probably, but the best wife, ex-husband that anyone could ask for.
Mm-hmm.
As far as helpful.
No, he's great.
Well, he's a nice guy, too.
Very nice guy, yeah. Yeah, he'll come over and help out with stuff, and this is obviously going to save me a bunch of money not having to hire somebody to do that.
Yeah.
And so that gets into a whole thing of where do you charge in your house? I mean, there are lots of ways you can do it. It's ideal if you can charge the car at home, because that is where EVs really shine, is if you can charge at home. The electricity cost is much, much, much slower.
Yeah.
But it's also way, way cheaper than a fast charger. The ones out on the highway are the most expensive way to charge up your car.
And you're going to get some kind of deal if you join XL Energy's blah, blah, blah program.
Oh, yeah. And the part of the key is that you want the car ideally to charge on off-peak hours when the rates are cheaper.
I mean, and usually people are doing that, though, aren't they? I mean, people aren't driving at night usually.
And you can tell the car only charge during certain hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. No, I mean, these are big computers on wheels, basically.
Well, are you afraid that more can go wrong? I mean, you might get some weird security update, and then you're stuck in Myrtle.
Yeah, I mean, the day I drove it home, it had a software update.
Like while you're driving?
No, I mean, when I went to turn the car off, it said, "Hey, when you turn, do you want to install the update when you turn power off the car? It'll just do it then."
Oh, okay.
No, it won't put it up there while you're driving.
It's like you're in Murdo, and then you got to pull over now because we got to do an update, and then
they always ask you first before you install it.
There's some kind of problem with the update. Now you're going to have to be in Murdo for 3 years.
3 years in the Murdo Triangle. Yes. So the charging thing is a big deal, but the real test. Okay, how is this going to go on a trip to Rapid City, which I want to be able to do, and so I found an app. There's several that do this, but the one I used is called a Better Route Planner, and
that's a long title.
It kind of is.
I'm just gonna say that the charging needs to get more uniformed and simple. And the app names have to get smaller for the general public to buy into this.
And to really give them credit, that's something Tesla did really well. Is that the cars and the what they call the superchargers all are kind of on one big system.
Yeah.
And the car will tell you, again, it does route planning like these other things do, but it basically works like you already have an account with them since you bought the car from them.
Do you have a monthly fee?
I don't really know.
Is there a subscription service? I wonder.
Yeah, it's weird. But the thing is that's slick about them is that the car tells you which charger is optimal to go to. You pull up, you plug the connector in on the car, it just starts charging and charges your Tesla account, whatever the cost of the electricity is.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it says, okay, you've got enough to get to the next destination. You can unplug and go now.
It's like a monthly fee again. We all have these monthly fees for everything.
Well, most of the time the charging is done by the kilowatt hour.
Yeah.
So it's
no, I'm just saying. I wonder if the Tesla
they probably
send you monthly billing or.
But And so, but the other fast chargers that are not Tesla, and again, my car cannot use Tesla stations.
Oh,
not yet, at least.
It's like you need a Mac adapter. You need a dongle.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be one,
but Tesla dongle.
But the whole industry is actually adopting the Tesla's connector.
Do you think the other companies will have to pay Tesla for the rights to use their
they
plug-in
opened
thing?
It up.
They did.
They did. They actually
good.
So that so far has been a good thing.
So, okay, and I don't associate anything good that happens with Tesla with Elon Musk, but
no fucking way. Yeah,
I mean, he probably has nothing to do with that. He probably would say, "What are you doing? We got to make some more money on this."
No, it's I think it was kind of I don't know. It's probably what was also. I think the thing that got them to play ball with that. And this was before he went and endorsed Trump, so who knows now? But is that he had to do something like this to qualify for some of the infrastructure bucks,
the Biden bucks.
The Biden bucks, and that was one of the things that the government pushed is like, you guys need to open up this thing, and then all the other companies can use it for nothing, and then all the and the thing is ultimately,
and then you get more uniformity.
It's good for Tesla ultimately too.
Sure, it is, they wouldn't have seen that necessarily if they didn't have that incentive.
But they'll be able to. The thing is, I don't want to give Tesla money, sure, but if I'm driving across South Dakota, there are places where there's only Tesla chargers, and if I can use that, it makes my trip easier. If I know I can always go fill up there.
That's the other thing they did. They put these chargers everywhere, you know, because they figured it out.
They were very good about that. I mean,
to get across the state, you need this many. And
there's been a Tesla supercharger station for years,
way ahead of the curve,
at Al's Oasis in South Dakota. I mean, sure. Smart.
They need one at Wall Drug. You can charge your. They probably have one.
There is one there actually.
Good. You can watch the cowboy singers.
there are other chains or companies that have fast chargers, and the one that's biggest that's not Tesla is called Electrify America, and they're actually owned by Volkswagen.
That's German.
It's a funny the reason why Volkswagen has this big EV charging thing is because you might remember a number of years ago they got into big trouble about their emissions from their diesel cars.
Yeah, but I don't associate them with electric vehicles.
Well, it's funny because when they got busted for that, and it was a big deal, part of their settlement was that they had to, again, to compensate for so much pollution their cars put out, is they part of their agreement is they built a fast charging EV network.
Oh my God.
And so that's what Electrify America is. It's kind of the settlement results, and they put lots and lots of money into building these all over the country.
Wow.
And also, and Volkswagen makes a lot of EVs too now.
Okay. Yeah, I don't associate them.
It's self-serving in a way for that, but it really pushed them into EVs much sooner than they might have gone.
So is this kind of planful is there a lot of overlap or redundancy at the stations, or are they spread out a little bit? Like,
it depends.
I can go to Mitchell instead of whatever because I on Electric America or whatever.
And I use their stations the whole trip because, first of all, they gave me like a whole bunch of free charging with them with the car.
Yeah. And
they also have the fastest fast chargers in this part of the country.
Okay.
So basically the way
Tesla.
there are fewer of them, but for my car they charge quicker than Tesla would. Yeah. They're very good.
So you have a Kia, but you can use it's kind of they made some kind of deal.
Electrify America will work with anybody.
Volkswagen. Well, sure.
No, they're not officially Volkswagen chargers.
No, I know.
No, we're mostly not. Tesla's the only one that does their own thing with charging it. Although Rivian kind of has. You just like to say the word dongle. I think.
Yeah, that's a good word.
Mm-hmm. Dongle Town.
Dongle.
We're in Dongle Town.
Dongle Town. Oh, maybe that's the song idea. Okay. I don't know what the lyrics would be.
Anyway, so here's an example between Rapid City and here.
All right.
I left Rapid City with about 60% of my battery charged. I stopped in Wall. There's an Electrify America station there, and I filled up there to 80%.
Wait a minute. Are you starting from Rapid or
yeah, Rapid City.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I thought you were going the other way. So you could make it all the way to Wall?
It's more complicated coming from the other way because I didn't go the normal way and I stopped part of the way through and stuff. So,
all right.
This is more of a.
So this is Rapid City. It
won't take as long to
the Twin Cities. Fine.
Yes. So
I stopped at Wall Drive, which is only like 60 miles away.
Yeah, but it gave me enough because it would have been difficult for me to get all the way to Chamberlain, which was the next station.
Well, because you were on your the level 1 charger at your mom's.
Yeah, actually, I didn't even do it there. I just...
No, you didn't have a long enough extension cord.
Yeah, that's right. But there's an Electrify America station by the Target in Rapid City, so I filled up there.
That's right. And it was like free or something. Oh no, you didn't.
No,
I'm switching. I'm sorry.
You're
I'm getting
confusing
you off
all my texts.
I'm getting you off tangent. But so Black Hills Power and Light, you found like this weird kind of little not employee parking lot.
They have free charging in their parking lot and at their office. It's not as fast as the Electrify America. It would take like hours and hours to charge the car, but
yuck.
But it's there, it's free, so you can't really complain about it. But it's faster than plugging into regular power.
Anyway, you got to Wall.
So I got to Wall because I needed that extra boost to make it to Chamberlain.
Okay.
Which was the next station. And then I got there.
How long did it take at Wall?
I was probably there for 15, 18 minutes, something like that.
Okay. And especially if you have a dog, you got to walk him anyway.
it was definitely you plug the car in, you go into the convenience store, and you take a pee, you get a drink, and all that stuff, and you're not sitting there very long.
Get some whiskey.
You could, yeah. And then we
Don't
go to
drink and
Chamberlain.
drive, people. Okay.
And
Al's Oasis.
It's not Al's Oasis.
Oh.
That's where Tesla is.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We had to go to that gas station on the other side of the river.
Okay.
The one up on top of the hill there.
Yeah, I know. The Taco
but
John's
that's,
there.
Different exit, but yes, it's same town.
Oh, I'm confused. Okay.
Yeah,
never mind.
there's 2 exits. I wish there was one at the Taco John's there, though. That would be great. And that's one of the things I'll say about these chargers is that they're often kind of off by themselves or in the back of a gas station parking lot or Electrify America does a lot of they put a lot of theirs in like Walmart parking lots, places like that.
Yeah.
Just kind of where they can do it. And I think ideally, at least out on the interstates, it would be great if they were near, food service or these big truck stops that have a lot of retail. And,
go in there and buy a hat, a MAGA hat or something.
You do something. Yeah, you'd think they'd want to do that because
get some of those trucker pills.
We're all going to be there longer.
Some of those trucks will be electric pretty soon too, if they aren't already.
That's coming. Yeah.
Well, okay.
And so anyway, we did that, and then we went to Worthington next, and topped up there, and then got home.
Wow. Okay. So 3 stops.
It took me three charging stops.
3 15-minute stops.
Yeah, approximately. One of them might have been a little longer because I think we ate in the car or something like that. But
it depends.
Not bad. Sometimes the chargers aren't as fast as they should be, and there's a lot of things that can make the charging take longer.
The Costco ones are solar powered, and I don't know.
Well, they should use those on a trip.
They should use. They need oil powered drill, baby drill, oil powered electric cars. God,
coming soon. So.
Sad.
So anyway, the trip was fine. Again, the thing that's cool, of course, is that when you plug in there, you can sit in the car with the AC running and all that stuff because again, it doesn't matter if the car is on or off when it's charging.
Oh, you gotta turn your car off supposedly when you're filling up your tank with gas.
You're supposed to, yeah.
Explode, I guess. I don't know. People don't though. Still, there's still some old people I'll see. They're like,
oh, I know. Yeah, I think it's weird, but
and they also say you shouldn't smoke near it. And I see people smoking.
What?
I think you could probably. I think that's another nice benefit about electric charging is you can smoke while you're charging your electric vehicle. That's a good benefit.
Yeah, that's related to the thing where if the car is in your garage and you want to warm it or cool it before you get in, you can do it.
No, someday. Someday I'll have one.
Anyway, so far it's great. Like the car, it's very super comfortable on the road. All that stuff. So
I don't covet thy neighbor, but I do want an electric car one of these years, sooner than later, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully you can get one because if you had one, you could just commute in. That would really work well for you, I think.
I got to get to work and back, and then to a gig. And then home.
Yeah, no, those are all things it's going to do really well with, and you have I'm sure you could figure out a hookup situation. I mean, Rob doesn't have a garage at all, and he charges.
No, I would have it at the side of the house. I have a garage, but I'm not quite sure about I would have to upgrade the electrical into the garage, I'm guessing, before I could.
Yeah, you probably would be just fine having a little thing put on the side of your house there. That's
what I'd do.
Yeah. No, that's what Rob did.
Well, I know
it's all about Rob.
I'm not going to do it then. Friend of the show and John's brother.
EV evangelist Rob. Yeah, he's a pusher.
He's a pusher, man.
Yeah.
You got to get these electro creds.
Yeah, it's cool. So far so good. Yeah.
Oh, I need to hook up.
Maybe I'll have an update down the road and tell you how it's all going.
Down the road. No, I don't know. That's interesting to me and hopefully to our listener Well, what are you watching? You watching it? We got a little bit of time left here.
Oh, let's see. What have we watched?
We haven't
feel like we
recorded
haven't been
for so
watching
long.
much.
Oh, well, okay. That's better. You've been watching MSNBC.
A little too much, unfortunately.
That's a different kind of hookup.
Yeah, before I bought this car, I was getting a little too far into lots of YouTube videos about electric cars.
Yeah. Oh, you do your research. And
that's a nice way
I
of
try
putting
not
it, yeah.
I try not to tease you too much about that because I benefit from your research.
Oh no, it's
and maybe our listeners do too. So
lots of lots of really good information though on the YouTube channels. And quite honestly, there's a really healthy Reddit group for this car. So you can kind of hear about people, any issues they're having or lots of different things.
I looked at a little bit of the Reddit when I was my researching is much more limited than yours. I got into that a little bit with the Leafs too, and I was like, this isn't going to work. I haven't.
Yeah, I think the car for you would be a used Chevy Bolt.
All right.
Those are because they just stopped making them last year, and I think they can go up to 200 miles.
A Chevy.
And they're people really like them, and they're used. They are a good deal right now.
That was on my list, but my limited research. But so you haven't been watching anything?
Oh, let's see. What have we been?
I was just gonna say while you think about it.
Yeah. Well, how about you?
My kids, my wife and one of my daughters talked me into getting Apple TV going again because there's some show they wanted to watch, which I can't remember what it was. I should have looked
Aren't
into
you
that.
doing the Eugene Levy one?
But anyway, because of that, I was like, oh yeah, they got a new season of Reluctant Traveler on that, Eugene Levy, which his glasses and eyebrows are two of the main characters of the show. But he's no Rick Steves. He's not like this pot-smoking guy going through Europe. But the second season, he only did Europe. I enjoy the show. The premise is he's a reluctant traveler. He likes his creature comforts and homebody. I don't want to say he's a homebody, but so he's going out into the world to travel and get out of his comfort zone and learn about joie de vivre and all this stuff. But a lot of the times he's staying at these really, really high-end places. I mean, like the king's room of some place in France. I don't know. But I do. It's fun. I like Eugene Levy and I like travel shows. That's one of the things that's one of our Venn diagrams or whatever you want to say with my wife Jody and I when we watch shows together is, some kind of, but travel thing maybe, or other kind of documentaries. Although we did watch the first episode of I think that's on Amazon. It's the Ring of the Lords or whatever it's called, the continuation of Lord of the Rings. I don't know what that one's called.
Oh, that
Ring of the Nibelungs. No, I don't know what that's called.
Oh, okay, yeah. I have not watched that show.
We watched the first one. We enjoyed it. I also watched Steve on Apple TV, not to be confused with the Strong Thermal Emissions Velocity Enhancement. This is Steve Martin.
Okay.
And it's a 2-part documentary. The first part is his early career, and the second part is where he's at right now. And that I enjoyed that. I think, well, of course, I think the first half was probably a little more interesting to me, but also it paralleled his book Born Standing Up, which is a very good book if anyone's is into stand-up comedy or books. There's a Venn diagram there if you like those two things. And also I've watched recently on Disney Plus Jim Henson Idea Man. Ron Howard did a little documentary.
Oh, that's
there.
right. Yeah, that sounded good too.
It is. It's a good documentary. It isn't just the way it's recorded or whatever, that's filmed or put together, edited, is fun also. It's creative in the way that it's put together, and so that enhances, I guess you would say, or I don't know. I learned quite a bit about Jim Henson from that too, and it's not that I didn't know anything about him, but I don't know. He was probably like our age when he died, and from a huge
so tragic.
Huge. He just was just such a hard worker, and he didn't put off going to the doctor, and then he died. So it's okay to go to the doctor sometimes. I learned that, but I've been going to the doctor more often lately than I'd like. Mystery health things, but hey, I'm still kicking. So have you had time to think about what you've been watching?
Well, let's see. So
besides YouTube,
watch a little of this show on. I think it's also on Apple, actually. Presumed Innocent.
Sounds familiar.
It's based on a book and a Harrison Ford movie from the 90s.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it was in the 80s. Yeah, it might have been late 80s.
Gee.
I think it's more about the book, but yeah, it's a limited series thing instead of a movie. But so far it's well done.
Now wait a minute. So this is a limited series based on a movie?
Well, I think it's originally based on a novel.
Well, right, but
there was
a movie in the 80s or 90s or
yeah,
80s.
Harrison Ford was the lead.
But this is like a limited, so it's like an expanded version of the book, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Does Harrison Ford have a surprise cameo appearance?
Not yet.
Oh, maybe later. And everyone will go, yay!
But maybe
James Earl Jones.
He's in Shrinking though, so maybe there'll be some tie-ins.
He's still getting work.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Well, there.
So those are good.
Well, fine.
So yeah, I've been doing just random stuff and haven't been not as much TV. But.
No, I think with the way things are, I mean, I've been watching more news or little YouTube things about the news than I normally would. There's a lot going on. Just I don't know. We try not to get into all that on here to give a little people some breathing room because they get enough of that from other places. But I just want to say I appreciate all the listeners, and we have a Facebook page. We haven't heard from people for a while. We haven't been posting on the Facebook page, but if you have any sort of comments or have a check-in, how you doing? Put it on there on the Facebook page. And you could also go to the buy me a cup of coffee thing, whatever that's called. What is that called again, John?
buymeacoffee.com/time to lean.
Okay, do that if you can, and we won't use it for coffee. We'll use it for whiskey, but actually, there are some costs involved with this that Biden bucks have not helped with yet.
No, Biden bucks have not covered our hosting.
maybe next time, if there is such a thing.
Yeah, no, maybe there's going to be a new program.
Harris bucks.
Yeah, whatever it is, right?
As long as it isn't Trump bucks.
Yeah, no, we'll probably be canceled if Trump wins. So don't vote for him.
The gazpacho Gestapo.
I
don't know why I said that. It's a fun thing to say, but it has nothing to do with Project 2025. Oh no, we're getting 25. Political. No, so just on it before we go, did you see the leaked video? Or that wasn't leaked, but John F. Kennedy, he's dead.
RFK Jr.
Yeah, Trump called RFK Jr. and I guess his son was recording the call. And that
always goes well for Trump.
it was and the son posted it, and RFK was like, no, and took it down right away or whatever. But basically, Trump was trying to get RFK to support him by talking about how babies change instantly after vaccinations, and it would
all the anti-vax stuff.
I can't remember his wording, but it was like it would be good for you or something like that if you endorse me. Or
of course.
So I don't know. Would he be Surgeon General or something? I don't know what that would.
Who knows? I mean, that
Attorney
that one
General
asshole
maybe
will be. Yeah, he'd give him some job, I'm sure.
Yeah, you can't trust a guy though.
No, as long as you're super loyal, you're you're okay.
But everyone that's super loyal to him is in jail, or probably should be.
Say one of the funniest comments I heard about his big acceptance speech, which was 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Was somebody on one of the platforms was in the middle of it said, "Wrap it up, Fidel," which is a reference to the fact that Castro was known for these long ass speeches, and then you had to sit there and listen to them. It was not optional. And apparently one time at the UN he talked for 4 hours.
Oh my God.
So that was a good one.
Oh, that shows stamina. It doesn't matter if you're even making any sense or talking about electrical sharks, EV sharks, or
whatever it is,
or electrical boats. Electrical, God,
electric powered boats and sharks. Yeah,
we better stop.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
Well, okay. We'll get we'll try and get the other episodes out, and don't worry, we're still here.
We're still here. 94 should be out pretty soon, I think.
I have a feeling.
Unfortunately, there was a little flub-a-dub with the. I had Sean over, friend of the show, who. If you listen to this one, you'll know that he was the guest on the last one. So I wanted him to be involved with the song, and we recorded some stuff, and I don't know what happened. I deleted all that stuff accidentally. I didn't make a new version. So kids, always make a new version of your recording. But
Save as is your friend.
Save as is your friend.com. That sounds one of those electrical charging apps.
Oh, God, yeah. There's so
electric charging. You don't have to say electrical. What's wrong with me? Electrical. I want a popsicle. Electrical popsicles. Go ahead, John. It's only 5.
Here's the song!
Spicy fly, you might get stung in your mouth or in your eye. Let it go when it flies by. Don't try the spicy fly. Buzzing to the left, buzzing to the right, buzzing in the day and buzzing in the night. If you try to eat it, you're in for a fight. Sting, they still have a bite. Don't try the spicy fly. You make it stung in your mouth or in your eye. Let it go when it flies by. Don't try the spicy fly. Buzzing to the left, buzzing to the right, buzzing in the day and buzzing in the night. Try to eat it, you're in for a fight. Even though they sting, they still have a bite. Don't try the spicy fly. You might get stung in your